Hello, 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 everybody. I don't know if you guys can hear me, but kind of a different way for me to start the day here. I started with eating a little bit differently. Eating a little bit differently, starting out. Oh, excuse me. I am so sorry that I didn't push mute for that. I just am reacting. I'm trying not to sneeze. And so, excuse me for that. But what a great day, right? What a great day that the sunset is just it's remarkable. And it's I could see it from my couch, right? Like my blinds aren't totally open. They're open a little bit. Um, but I could see the sunset peering through my blinds, and I always get the morning sun, you know. And my apartment is near the pool, so really in the morning, like maybe not in January, but in the morning in summertime, it's pretty cool. But I'm grateful for that sunset any day of the weekend. It reminds me of, hey Jake, how you doing? But shalom. Um, and it reminds me of when Abraham was talking to Nimrod, and Nimrod was saying that he was more powerful than God. And Abraham said, can you make the sun come up from the other direction, And he couldn't. That's what made God more powerful, is it, God, I don't know what is it, God raises it in the east and sets in the west. Is that what it is? Or vice versa? I always get it mixed up, but he couldn't rise the sun from the other direction. And so it's just amazing, the sun, isn't it? It's amazing. Hey Vader, hey Jake, Shannon, and what's truth? I hope that you're feeling better from your heart attack. That's I've been thinking about you, man. Sending up some prayers. And I'm having a great day. I think we had a great. Oh, sorry. Let me turn off my alarm. Sorry, I got a million alarms set so that way I don't fall asleep, which is you know, precaution or whatever. But I'll say this, right? Last night I thought the show was good. I thought we touched on a lot of things like um, like marriage, especially when you're not equally yoked, and what that could be like. And and also like just how God can just change your life instantaneously, right? That God can just turn you into a person, right? That is just super empathetic. And I was already kind of empathetic. Actually, I was already very empathetic before, but um, you even care more for people, for other people. And I mean, it's almost at the point now where like I'm always like I'm in this kind of group, and you guys can probably relate because this group is just like this. This is something common amongst us, uh, truther Christians. Is that we're just very empathetic people, always wanting you to do for somebody else, right? Always wanting to help out, and even hard to take a compliment or even a Christmas gift, or that it's embarrassing almost, And I know you guys relate to that. It's not a. We usually get treated like crap out there in the world, and usually don't get the kind of love we give out back, right? And so we're used to that in a way. But I'm in a and I wouldn't care either way. I'm cool with that. And but here's the thing, right? Is I'm stuck in a mode where even when people are being critical of me, right, and my um, performance, I wouldn't say performance, but my efforts here, right? Yeah, it's almost like not only do I have to be in control of my own emotions, right? I anticipate the emotions of guests, right? And be responsible for their behavior because so last guest was wonderful because there was no responsibility for me. She was amazing handling herself, right? But I've had guests that I've had different kinds of guests that don't control their emotions so well. And so I'm very, very grateful, very, very grateful. And I like to have, since Jake is here listening, I like to have Jake on whenever he'd like to come on. I mean, tonight would even be great. It's up to him. But any afternoon or any morning, because I've actually left it open. Oh man, I didn't give Tom a link. If Tom comes, I'll give him a link. I didn't even think about that. I didn't even think about giving Tom a link. That's crazy. Okay. I always give him the first opportunity to come on because just the history of it, right? Like, we started this thing together. The very first show we were together. And and I don't think me and Tom understood really what we had at the beginning. I don't think we knew that like getting along and having chemistry and stuff like that was like such a hard thing to find. But I guess if you have it, you have it, right? And we probably should have went live right from the very beginning, but we did. We goes, but we interview guests, right? Even non-Christian guests. Now it's like every time I do that, right? People get upset at me because oh, you're teaching what they're saying, you agree with it, just to even have someone on your show, they assume you agree with everything that they say or something. And that ain't right. You know what I mean? I mean, that's crazy, man. Or you go into somebody's chat and you're just watching a video or something. And oh, you agree with everything they do and everything they've ever done. You're like, no, man, I'm just here watching the thing, right? To learn, flat earth or whatever, right? I'm not here to know everything about somebody, right? And you'll get these people, man, that are just insane. And then you're like, well, I mean, if I lived my life like that, I mean, you definitely can't watch nothing in Hollywood then, you better just forget about that because those people are disgusting. But that's where we're at. We're being slowly assimilated by the government and the media and entertainment and education to being, backwards Satanist people. And the oh, you know this guy, or you we're in his chat room, therefore you are. Right. And there's a lot of people, right? Like, you take on take on that belief, man. Like, oh, I seen you in that guy's chat room, and it's all of his beliefs, you know, and you're like, come on, man, come on. I'm just a guy, man, just like trying to live my life, man. Everybody's disgusting nowadays. 99% of the people out there are disgusting. You know, and it's not like, I'm not saying that, right, to put any fear in anybody, or it's just reality, you know. Yeah, exactly. They take they right, they'll pick the worst part to, yes, exactly, to align with you. And you know what, we're just people trying to get, you know, we're trying to go get a positive vibe somewhere, try to get a smile, whatever, learn something, come back here and teach our people, you know, our friends that we care about. Yeah, that's it, man. That's what, to the actual animals, right? Hey, Vader Jones, I don't blame you. You know, I mean, like, you know, I'm still uh, at that point where, you know, I'm not better than anybody. Some people do some nastier, way nastier things than me, right? And, I mean, way nastier, let's be honest, right? There's some horrific people out there. But it's just, you know, I try to get, you know, if anybody is like willing to give up their rebellious spirit and give their lives to God, right? I want to help them. I want to give them all the time that I could possibly give them, you know? There's nothing I wouldn't do for a person that wanted to have God in their life. Because look at the prodigal son, right? I mean, it's like, oh yeah, why did the father, right? He you know, he had that big party and killed the fatted calf, and you know, for the son that went out and started his, you know, inheritance, and it was with prostitutes and all this stuff, right? And he comes back, he's in the pig pen, and he didn't throw a party for the one that was in line, right? For the kid that stayed there and did all the right things, you know. It's because when you come back, no matter how dirty you got out there, he's just happy to have you back, you know. There's a party in heaven, you know, for when these people come back. God will leave the 99 to go get the one. And to me, that's it's amazing. It's beautiful, because you know, what if we were that one? You know, like what if at one point, you know, that was us? Well, yeah, I love hearing that example too, right? Because it sets precedence, right? Because the Bible's like a law book, right? And so it tells you how far you can take things, right? I mean, you don't want to be that minimum person, right, out there, that you definitely don't. But if you ever did, God is faithful. God is always faithful. He will always be faithful. And he'll always want you back. And so now it's possible you go out there and get, you know, reprobate heart or something like that. And that's somebody's own choosing, man, to be evil and they get the reprobate heart. That's on them. They did that. God didn't do that to them, you know. And that's right. That's right. He grabbed you up, right? Well, look. There were times where I know people are like, "Oh, yeah, forget this guy, man. He burned every bridge, man, and forget this guy," you know. And God never gave up on me, and I don't, you know, and I can't even tell you why. Like, it doesn't feel. I don't feel like I deserve it, right? But when you have the Holy Spirit in you, right, it's that down payment, right? That guarantee you're going to the afterlife, and you're like, well, why? Like, why couldn't it, like, there's so many better people out there. I try not to question it, just because, there'll never be a scenario for that, um, I just right, and I could see, like if you think about, like, the whatever. I can see Luke, man. I can see Luke, man. One of them fishermen, Jesus is like, hey, we just walk the dock and go follow the Lord. And so I hope my voice is better now. Is it a little bit better? Uh-oh, is it a little better? I hate what they're doing with this 5G. Hold on a second, guys. Okay, you say it's better? Okay. I'm going to try to get a glass of water because I usually refill this same water bottle. And for some reason, the water's not tasting good. So I wonder if it's the water or if it's the actual bottle. So it's hard to tell. So I'm going to use my glass. I'm glad that it sounds fine, Faith. Thank you so much. Welcome. Welcome, Chris, if I didn't say hi yet. Hello to everybody. If I didn't say hi to you yet today and you've typed in the chat, that means that I like you the most. That you're the best one out of everybody. Let me see if I missed somebody. Just to make sure. Because you never know, right? Oh, Clutch is here. Yeah, buddy. I hope I said hi already. Sorry about that, Clutch, if I didn't say hi already. But, yeah. And, you still there, buddy? Just want to make sure everybody's okay. Because sometimes I know I missed Pat the other day, and I missed Patrick the other day, and he got upset. He got upset with me, and he blocked me from like five things, and so I tried to tell him, hey man, I didn't mean to do that. It's just I didn't know what his account was. I hope Clutch didn't like come and go. I hope he's okay. I hope he's just listening. He's Clutch is awesome. And so fluoride, man, that fluoride in that water. And I was talking yesterday, and she already knew, but like fluoride, that's what they make Prozac out of, right? Fluoxetine out of fluoride. It's so gross, It's so gross. And I'm still taking a SSRI, so stop serotonin reuptake inhibitor. The only reason I haven't, stopped taking that is because of once you mess with reuptake with serotonin in your brain, it's hard for your body to get that function again because it's dependent on the medicine to do it, right? But I don't know, I don't feel anything from the medicine. It's just when I don't take it. And so that sucks. So I'm working on that. But I wanted to be completely like medicine free by the time I died, But it looks like who knows, who knows? I'm just gonna keep going, down on everything until I come out. But I don't take any kind of addictive stuff or whatever. It's just crazy. Like they had us like dependent on all these medicines. It's, oh yeah, you need this, man, you need that, Zelcresto and Pan Cristo. You need all this stuff, right? And this one's for your foot, but it'll make your hand burn. This one's for your hand, it'll make your eye water. You can never get everything fixed. It's like they're running joke. They probably have like some magic pill, like just one herb that you can eat naturally the way it is, right, or something, and it'll cure everything or something. Yeah, that's what they say. I did try to do that, Luke. I tried to quit everything, like 'cause I tried to quit it cold turkey because I don't feel anything from the medicine, right? So I just didn't think that there'd be a withdrawal or anything. But you stop, yeah, you stop taking it, and man, what a mess, man. What a mess. And it's important to talk about these things, because other people might be dealing with it. And so I don't worry about the trolls, digging in or picking on me or whatever. It's life, right? Everyone goes through stuff. And so you alienate a lot of people when you say, okay, well, no one's allowed to have any problems. And so like, whatever, if I have to take a little bit of heat for that to open up and talk about these things that people are struggling with it. There's other people out there that are going through the same thing that can help you. And I know a lot of people that have struggled with addiction issues. I know a lot of people that sexual addiction even. Um, and these things are difficult to deal with. And it's good to have people that you can discuss these things with and then get help, get better. And yeah, we got to get all these toxins out of our bodies. And like the whole world could be like this group, with like how much integrity that this group has, how much empathy this group has. The sexual integrity of this group, right? I wish that could be the whole world. I wish this was a microcosm for the world. But it's almost like if we don't talk about these things, how are we going to help these people out there? And to be honest, we're late in the game to be embarrassed at this point, right? It's like we got to help other people. And look, I get it. Like, my life is not really like horrific. And I get it if there's things that people don't want to be vulnerable to everything. And so I'll just use my life as an example, because there's enough in it to say, okay, these are things I overcame or whatever. But yeah, I think a lot of us are like face like addiction, or that we've tried substances or drinking or whatever, or alcoholism, because we're empathic people, right? We're empathetic. And so we absorb everybody's pain. It's always uncomfortable. Life is just always uncomfortable. And if you have like constant anxiety or things like this, it could be a struggle, right? But there are ways to deal with it without medicating yourself. And but these things, you have to believe it, and you have to have patience with this kind of thing. And I used to have just horrific anxiety. The last 4 or 5 years, I haven't had any, which is, I mean, I never thought there would be a day that I'd have 2 good days in a row. And here we are now. I have this perfect peace, right? But I mean, the world is getting like worse and worse, right? And yeah, God gives us this peace, but it's not so that we could just, you know, chill till the end, right? We have this peace so we can go help other people, you know? And I know it's hard, right? Because there's not a lot of people that even want our help, but we're called to do it, you know? I mean, when Jesus came back, he didn't say, "Okay, I'm going to go to the local, synagogue or church, or whatever, temple, and hang out with my people." I mean, he didn't do that. You know, he went out into the streets, man. He went out there and walked up to the worst demons, the worst sinners, and helped them get better. And so, I almost think that maybe a lot of health things have to do with like sin. It could be. Not saying everything, right? I mean, some things are nobody's fault. People are born with stuff, right? Maybe the sin of another person caused that. But it is strange that he came to forgive sins and heal people. It's amazing. Isaiah 54:17. No weapon formed against you shall prosper, and every tongue which rises against you in judgment you shall condemn. This is the heritage of servants of the Lord and their righteousness. Oh, that is such a beautiful statement. And you know what? It's true. It's true. It's working in my life right now. You wouldn't believe it. You would not believe it. It is working in my life right now. I'm going to read that again because it's so beautiful. Isaiah 54:17. No weapon formed against you shall prosper, and every tongue which rises against you in judgment you shall condemn. This is the heritage of the servants of the Lord and their righteousness. Oh, I love being a servant. Only because and it's tough not to I got to keep ego out of it, right? It's tough sometimes because when people troll you, you almost you almost get to a point where you're like, yeah, I'm glad that God's helping me, right? But if I do what God wants me to do, right? If I'm humble and I do what God wants me to do, I know that he will come through. I know it. And so it is about doing the right thing, though. It's not just about, okay, God's here, he's going to protect me over anybody else. That's not how it works. God's here for everybody. But if I do what I'm supposed to do and I serve the Lord the best that I can, and someone is being unfair against me, God will be faithful and do what he says. And it's happened. It's happened in my life. And so these attacks or whatever, ended up growing the channel, right? Or making the channel love each other more, or like it's just more support, right? But more people. And so yeah, but you're right. If you get an ego about it and you start saying, well, God's not going to let you get me, blah blah blah, right? Like that, God will humble you. God will humble you. So it's always important to just be grateful for God, right? And to just keep serving God, right? And just ignore that crap. Because you can really watch the power of somebody just dwindle. I mean, especially when you I don't know. Sometimes I just look at a picture, I'm like, okay, this is the person saying this stuff. Like, look at this dude. And then really get a sense of what's happening. Because it's so hard without, you have to look at the face. But anyway, oh yeah, what did Jake say? Hold on. Do. I missed your comment, Jake. I'm sorry. I don't want to ignore you, Jake. I didn't see your comment. Oh, oh, glad to be here. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. Absolutely, absolutely. I'm glad to be here too. This is truly one of the best parts of my day. I mean, I sleep the best, and I hate to say this, right? Because of course I don't want to do anything irresponsible. I always want to be here on time, but just before the show starts, and I know that everything's done. I've caught up with all my phone calls and everything, and I'm just sitting there, and I'm feeling just like, oh, I'm done. I'm caught up, right? Sometimes I could just fall asleep, and almost an hour. And then I wake up, it's like 7:40. I'm like, oh no, I gotta start the show. And there's like another 10 messages, are you okay? But it makes me feel good when you guys ask me if I'm okay. Even if it's like an annoying amount of messages, I'm not annoyed by it, because when you're always in this mode where you're like asking other people how they're feeling all the time, sometimes it could be a while before you hear from another person, hey, how are you doing? And so it does feel good when you guys do that. And so I just want to say I'm grateful for that. Very grateful for that. Oh, is Pamela here? I didn't see her. Are you saying Pamela's here? Oh, I left her a message a while back, hoping that she'd come visit. I always let people know like that I miss them if they've been gone a while. And I haven't seen Ray of Sunshine in a little while, and I'd like to see her. And it's hard because there's no way to really get a hold of her. With everybody else, I have an email or a number or something, right? But if you see her around, right, like comments or something, just let her know that we miss her here. You know, no pressure, but like her presence was valuable here. And I feel that same way about all of you when you guys aren't here for a while. Yeah, red skies, of course, yes. Yeah, I haven't seen her in a little bit, and now I just hit a mental block. But there was a few other attached to red skies that I remember them together that I haven't seen in a while. But not everybody watches everything every day. Sometimes you see people once a week, like Chow. I see him once a week, or you know, people like that. And like I have friends, like in my real life friends, they know I have a channel. Sometimes I see them, once a month or every couple months or something. Oh, you were gonna read Second Ezra's Nehemiah, or I'll tell you what, man, I love those books, man. Oh my God, I love those books. I mean, the Book of Enoch is great. I like Jasher a lot because it lines up with uh, Genesis so well, right? And it goes into when they talk about the sacrifice of Abraham and Isaac, right? And how his mother was so happy that she died of happiness. Like it said she gave up the ghost, from being happy that her son wasn't killed because Satan came as a human being and told her that Isaac was being sacrificed, and she was devastated, right? And when she saw that he was alive, she literally died from the joy. And if you think about just how much you love your kids, right, you can see like, wow, I could see how a person could feel so emotionally intense about their child. They die from just the emotion. And you wonder, well, see, that book also sets another precedent, right? that Satan can come as like a human being, you know. Satan could just be a person in your life. And man, that's a spooky spooky feeling, but to know that if you resist temptation, he will leave you is good, right? And so as long as you resist the opportunities to sin out there, the devil can't do anything. The problem is that like because they tell you, you know, what's in every ingredient or what's on television or it's like if you consent to something, you're opening the door for that to affect you, and it's allowed to affect you, you know. But if you don't consent to things, right, then really the devil has no power at all. And so I think human beings forget that we create that evil, you know, and that God's trying to reconcile us from ourselves, you know, from sin itself. Because sin to God is just, you know, disgusting. I do, Faith. I do think there's that many books, you know. The reason why I think that, right, is because they make up all this history around the Bible, right? Like, oh, these people were a council that could like take books out or add books in, you know, Council of Nicaea, whatever, right? But if they have the power to take books out and put books in, right? And God has, if you're saying God has no power to straighten it out again, right? Then I have a problem with that. Like it's like God knew exactly what we would have. And here's the thing, right? If there's a million Bibles out there, let's say there's a million Bibles out there, which is not that many. There's way more than that. Billions out there. But let's say there's 1 million Bibles out there and I decide I'm going to change the Bible. I can't change all the million Bibles that are out there. I can only change the one that, you know, from now on, right? And so you know, these Bibles would be out there, right? And there are some, right, that have more books, right? But then you start getting like, okay, well, the Geneva Bible's got 80 books, right? And you're like, wow, that's yeah, I get it, I get it, I get it. And you're right about that, Faith. And see, like, and I don't have a problem with saying that a lot of these non-canonical books, right, could be true, right? I'm like, okay, this is a true book. I believe that it's true, but I don't give it moral authority over my life, like verse by verse, like I would the Bible. Like if there's some kind of commandment in there, I'd be like, okay, well that's a good tip, but not really. You know, I don't know how to put it. There's a difference to me between God's word and a true story, because God's word is magical. It comes to life. I mean, in parts of Enoch do read that way where I read Enoch and I'm like, that is kind of coming to life in a way, right? Um, yeah, you're right. Not just books. Yeah. Oh yeah, there's a lot of stuff buried. Of course, of course. Do you think he wears that funny hat, you know, for no reason? He's the king of the world. You know, like this is how he's some kind of some kind of worldly king. You know. Or why would you want to be that guy if it was just a figurehead position, right? Why would you want to be that guy? There's obviously some kind of power that comes with that, you know. Now, I'm not saying that I mean, who knows who runs what, right? But I can just see it's probably not a you know, right, ego. Yeah, true. People like attention. I guess there are like, beauty pageants where if you win or whatever, you don't really get nothing, but you're recognized, I guess, or something. So I guess, yeah, okay. The poop, the Pope. Yeah, the Queen, you can say the Queen, right? Yeah, he doesn't wear no funny hat for no reason, man. Like, why? Like, for real. Okay, so like, to me, right? If it's just some figurehead position, right? You might get me to wear the robe, man, but I'm not putting that hat on. But now you tell me I could run stuff and have some of the gold or something like that, right? I mean, now I don't care about that stuff, but like in my worldly days, right? It's like, okay, now give me the hat. Give me the hat, man. But yeah, I used to like the color red too, man, and they ruin everything, man. Absolutely, Chris. Absolutely. Why faith? Because of the hat? Oh my God. Oh my God, those red shoes are just horrible. You guys seen those? Yeah, man, there's just so much of this world that's just been hijacked, man. See, that's why I don't like doing all the like the symbolism and mockery and all that. I get it, like I get it, guys. I'm not like, you know, I understand people need to process things all differently. Some people do it in other ways, right? But I just think that like all that symbolism is like it's used by some of the nastiest people. But I know some people deal with that in other ways. I just avoid it. I just avoid it because I don't know what else to do. Because you know why actually is because that's one thing that we use to tell us from them. And if we're doing it too, it'd be hard to use that as a way to discern, right? Um, a way to discern them. And so you can't really judge somebody for something that you're doing. Makes it very difficult. Oh yeah, so now Josh Sparrow, right? Now that you mentioned that, I shared his link, and I think he's amazing. I think he's absolutely amazing, Case over, because he's so humble, right? And you can tell like he's a grown man just like us, but he reminds me of a kid. He's just so humble. That I mean that kid is great. He's great. And I'll promote his channel from now to the end of eternity. Yeah, absolutely. You can post that link as many times as you want in my chat. And me and him have this thing, right, where there's this guy, right, this DJ Alligator or whatever. His name is DJ Alligator, and he had he's doing all the one eye symbolism and all this stuff, right? And it's like this guy sold his whole life out, man, to be DJ Alligator. You know, he sold his soul to be DJ Alligator, and that was so profound to me, right? And so I'm always saying like, oh yeah, how's making some DJ Alligator reference. Right, right. He shows the channel not only with the celebrities, but like, yeah, famous people in everywhere, right? Or politicians, scientists, people that are atheists, quote unquote, doing one eye symbolism, right? It's like that's not an atheist, Richard Dawkins or whatever. That's a Satanist. He wants you to be an atheist so you have no power. You know, you either get the little tricks or whatever power from Satan's side, you get the power from God's side, and if you're an atheist, you get nothing. You know, that's the worst thing to be. You know, I mean, God even says, "Be hot or cold," because if you're lukewarm, He'll spit you out of His mouth. You know, and a lot of people say that that's just about Christians. Could be, right? But the Bible is a great book in the sense that it could mean a lot of things, right? Yeah, people I've never even heard of, right? Like like this is DJ Turtle. like what? Like this guy sold his life out to be this guy, you know? Like come on, man. Yeah, full armor or bust, right? That's why I worry about people like that are saved, you know. I don't know if they are or not, but they say they are. And they're not like us, like on fire, right? I'm like, are they saved? Like, cause like I can tell when somebody's saved in front of me, right? I mean, sometimes I can't. Like with half of you guys, it's obvious to me, you know. It's just like, wow, okay, yeah, that person. Even if I've never met you or talked to you, I could feel it almost, you know. Like, okay, yeah, that person is. There's no doubt in my mind, you know. But I can't tell you that somebody's not that, you know, they maybe they are. I just it's not obvious to me. And but sometimes when you run into somebody, you just recognize that what's in them is the same thing that's in you. I don't know if you guys ever have that feeling, but I do, you know. And hey, I'll tell you what, there are some people that I run into that their spirit is so big and so bright that it's like I've never met anybody with a spirit that big that was any good, you know. They always end up being like some kind of evil at some point, you know. And you wonder why is all this big energy going to all these kind of yeah, it's crazy, you know. Oh, you're counting down to the oh yeah, it's time. It's time. I know. It's going just a little bit long today, but yeah, for sure. Yeah, and if Jake, if you want to call me just like right after this show is great, you can, and we can talk for sure. And but guess what time it is? Guess what time it is, guys? It's time to hit the old dusty trail. And so praise Jesus for his sacrifice and his grace. You know, Jesus came to earth to take his own wrath upon himself, right? To die for our sins, to reconcile us back to God. He died. God raised him from the dead 3 days later. And he ascended to heaven in front of many witnesses to save us, to reconcile us, to complete the contract, to complete the law, right? All glory to God, everybody. He deserves it, all of it. There's nothing that we do on earth that is any better or worse than anybody else. It's all dirty rags, and it's all God that gets us into heaven. That's why in Matthew 24 or somewhere around there, when the people are going up to him, Lord, Lord, haven't I done great things in your name? Look, if you're up there to tell Jesus all the great things you've done, that's the wrong answer. You know, you should be talking about all the grace that he's given us, right? And that's how you know God, right? That's how you know God, because he'll tell you, I never knew you. And I know none of us would ever do that. We would never go up to him and tell him all the stuff we've done. And so that's why I'm grateful for this group. And pray for the children, please. And I will see you guys at 5 p.m. California time. I do love you guys.